What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As you can see from the intro of this video, I pulled the trigger and I got a G80 M3. I wanted to make this video just to kind of talk about the car, what influenced my decision. If you've watched my channel before, you'd know that this is one of my favorite cars. I actually have a video speccing out my dream G80 M3. But also, it didn't come without sacrifice. Not a millionaire yet, so I had to trade in my beloved 2018 F80 M3 in order to get this one. And I just want to talk about what impacted or influenced that decision, and why I pulled the trigger, why I got rid of a car that I said I would never sell, and picked up a car that when it originally came out I thought was absolutely hideous. So right off the bat, let's start with the car that I had before. I had a 2018 BMW M3, the F80 chassis. It was a competition. It was absolutely gorgeous. It was gray. It was in pristine condition. It only had like 44,000 miles. And I absolutely loved the car. And what happened was, and you might disagree with this, I had that car plus another daily, like another BMW that I had that was a lease, that I actually ended up buying off eventually. And I decided to sell that other car. That was the car that I drove to work every single day. And when I sold it, I only had my F80 M3, my 2018 M3 to drive every day. And I know this sounds like first world problems, but I did not enjoy the daily driving of my car. And keep in mind, my car was not modified at all. It was completely stock. It wasn't any aftermarket suspension or anything like that, but I just didn't enjoy it. It felt, because of the way that I had driven the car before, it felt like I was just wanted to drive it fast, and the slow driving experience was just not the best. So that drove me to start considering potentially a G80 M3, which originally was a car that I did not like. I thought the grills were hideous. Honestly, it was just the grills, to be honest, because the rear end looks really nice. I actually really like it, personally. And the interior is really nice as well. So I decided that I was going to get a G80 M3. I was going to pull the trigger. My F80 still had really good value. Obviously, I could have gotten more money if I sold it privately, but I thought, let me just trade it in and see what I can get for it. So if you've seen my video on how I wanted my G80 to look, I wanted, obviously, a competition X drive, which is ridiculously expensive. I wanted the frozen white paint, and I wanted bucket seats, which clearly I did not get. So obviously, the frozen paint's tough to get. The X drive, a little bit out of my budget. So I decided I was going to at least get a comp or a manual, like a base model, with the competition buckets. So I looked everywhere and I found a gorgeous 2023 comp with white competition buckets, or carbon bucket seats, is what I meant to say. And it was beautiful. But as soon as I sat in it, I realized that either I'm way too fat for the car, or those carbon buckets are made for very skinny people. And it was just going to be the same thing over and over again. I was going to get a car with a really cool spec, but I was just not going to enjoy it because it wasn't comfortable. It wasn't comfortable. I sat in them, and I was like, from the moment I sat in them, I already felt uncomfortable. Like my butt didn't fit. And I drive a lot. I'm driving to work right now. So that kind of drove me then to see, okay, I definitely want a G80. I want a car that I can daily drive, but also, enjoy and drive fast where allowed. And so I decided that I was gonna try out the regular, like, base model seats on the M3, and I actually thought that they were really, really comfortable. Actually, almost as comfortable, if not more comfortable, than the ones on my F80 M3. So then I was like, okay, what do I do? How do I make this worth it for me? I'm getting a G80, what can I find? So I decided to look online, and, given that I drive a lot, I found out that BMW has like a self-driving capability, or whatever they call it, driver assist pro. So I decided to look for a G80 that had the radar, or whatever, I don't know what it's called. I think it's radar or LiDAR. So it can have the driver plus, so at least in the highway I can have like active cruise control and things like that. That then drove me to finding the one that I have currently. And I know it's not a big feature. Like, when you think about it, you're like, man, you got a G80 with extra weight. It has the ladder feature that's so annoying, features that you never use. Honestly, this has become my favorite feature of the car, because one of the things that I didn't enjoy about my F80 on the highway was like the constant, you know, and when you're bumper to bumper, it's just not an enjoyable experience. With this car, at least on the highway, it basically drives itself. It has different modes. One of the versions I have to keep my hands on it, but eventually under 40 miles an hour, you're able to just let go of everything and it drives itself. So that's great, honestly. It's worth it for me. I felt like I made the right decision, because it's basically become my daily plus my fun car. And that sounds so stupid to say out loud, but I absolutely love it. I love the G80. Quick update on the specs. It's a 2024 G80 M3. It has the new infotainment system, which like goes across. I personally think it looks really cool. I know some people don't. Has the heated steering wheel, has the executive package, the head-up display, the black comp wheels, which I'm not a huge fan of. It's white, not frozen white, so I got like the most basic color, but at least I didn't get the charcoal one. The interior is red, which is a huge preference for me. I love red interiors. And that's it, honestly. The car is pretty basic. It's a comp. I love it. It's great. I think I got a good deal on it. At least it was under MSRP, and it was used. It had like 12,000 miles. I've already put 4,000 miles on it. I absolutely love driving, and I've driven it everywhere. But I have to say, the only thing that I do not like about this car, and it's really not ruined, but it's impacted my driving experience. And if you have a G80 or if you've driven one before, the brakes on this car are insanely loud. It sounds like a school bus. And it's like give and take. Sometimes it's loud, sometimes it's not. But when they start making noise, it's genuinely embarrassing. Like, I sometimes like, they just made noise. I sometimes feel embarrassed driving in parking lots. I'm like, I'm driving an $85,000 car and the brakes are something like a school bus. And I get it, it's the brake pads, but in my F80, I never had this issue. And I actually took it to the dealer and asked BMW about it, and they were like very standoffish with me. They were like, well, you should have read the bulletin. BMW put out a bulletin that these brakes make this noise, yada, yada, yada. And so I'm kind of stuck with them. I know that you can change the brake pads, but me, as a gullible, sometimes idiot, got the extended warrant, like a service package that includes brake pads and rotors. So it doesn't make sense for me to switch them, because I think I would lose that, or I wouldn't get the best bang for my buck. So I'm gonna try to at least use that once when the brake pads are ready to change, and yeah, let's see how it goes. But yeah, guys, I'm super excited. I wanted to show you my G80 M3. If you like the car, if you think there's cool content to make, please comment down below what you think I should do to it next. I'm not a huge fan of like super modifying my cars, meaning like maybe altering the suspension or anything with the engine, just because I love cars sometimes original. But I do get the point of like putting an exhaust or putting spacers or maybe carbon fiber goodies here and there. So as long as it's not too tacky. So let me know what you think. And I'm excited to make more videos. Give me a follow. Cheers.